Why don't I like Macs? Well, firstly, all the ideas that have been put in an Apple came from the PC world. And we're talking about graphics formats, we're talking about sound editing and sound formats, and video editing formats. All these things and all the hardware and the clever stuff behind them was invented on PCs. And then it gets ported across to a Mac, and Mac users will have you believe that that's the way it is done and that's the way it's always been done. No. Everything has been done on either Unix, hardware servers, mainframes, or PCs, and all the best ideas that have come out of the servers and the Unix environment and the PC world have then been incorporated into Mac. That's what an Apple is. That's what an Apple Mac is. It's a PC. You know, I mean, if you look at the operating system, the OS X, it's based on Unix BSD, which comes from hardware servers, which are basically mostly PC in origin. So the whole core of their operating system comes from a PC-based world. The hardware for the latest generation of Macs is actually all PC-based. And that's why you can run Windows XP on a Mac. But Apple are very careful not to allow you to run OS X on a PC, because if you ran OS X on a PC, Apple know that you wouldn't want to spend £1,000 or £2,000 on an Apple Mac, because why would you when you can spend £200 or £300 on a PC and put the OS X on it? So they're very, very worried about allowing you to use OS X on a PC, but they want to have XP on a Mac so that Mac users can, you know, catch up when they need to do work with the real world of PCs. So, you know, iPhones, this amazing thing called an iPhone. Well, you know, again, the idea of a mobile phone that has a computer in it is something that was originated from the Palm world and from the mobile operating systems that Windows released. So that idea for that system came from the Microsoft world, and you get the Palm devices and the, you know, the things which could do Wi-Fi, could get on the net, and strangely enough, you know, Apple is slow to catch up, or are they? Because they like to keep their users buying new products every time a little bit of a tweak comes out. You didn't need to do that with these products because you could put memory cards in them, and not just one type of memory card. You could actually get two types of memory card. Look, compact flash, SD. Two types of memory card. Yeah. So, you know, Apple have still got, you know, ideas that they need to poach from the real world, that their users are still you know, floundering without. Battery. So people who use their things for real business, not just playing around, toying about, yeah, the real business world that needs to have their devices that operate and work a little bit more than the soldered in battery that you can't get out on an iPhone. That's what they use. They use these. And formats like DVD, you know, look at the DVD disc, put it in your computer. It's a PC format. You know, video editing was invented on PCs and then got ported across to Macs. It all got invented on the PC. You know, you got your people with your iPods going, oh yes, my iPod is brilliant, it's wonderful. I mean, it's a nice device, but guess where MP3s were invented? Guess where the portable music format was invented? It was invented on a PC. And, you know, if I'm talking about a computer that I can expand and do things with, it's got to have card slots. It's got to have the ability for me to plug in a card that does what I need it to do. And then when I need to get a more powerful graphics card because my games or my video requires it, I don't have to throw the whole machine away like you do with a Mac and buy a whole new machine. I pull out the card, I plug in a new one, and my machine is then capable of doing the new tasks that I need it to do. If it's not fast enough, I pull out the processor and put a faster processor in. And if it needs more memory, I plug it in. Nice and simple. Yeah, Apple users have to get new machines when they need to do bigger and more clever tasks. That's the way of it. Apple like it this way because they sell hardware. And every time they make a slight increase to one of the performances of one of their programs, you have to go and buy new hardware. So this isn't quite the case with the PC world. If I want to upgrade my operating system, I'm not going to have to buy a new machine. I can put it on the existing machine I have here. So I've saved money and I've saved the environment. Apple does have a very throwaway mentality, which is in evidence with the fact that their iPods and iPhones don't have removable batteries. You know, they want you to throw these things away. They want you to consider them as obsolete within 6 months once the battery starts to go, so that you'll throw it away and get another one. You know, the people who tell you that web design exists, you know, best on a Mac, well, not really. I mean, web pages came from PCs. You know, the whole world of computer communication started with the bulletin board systems, which were run on PCs. So, you know, this is again a fallacy. Web pages and web design all started on the PC. Internet Explorer was one of the most popular browsers. Of course, Apple took Microsoft to court to say, oh, you know, your browser's really popular and it's affecting our business. You know, we've got to have a cripple sort of restriction put on you, you know, because you're affecting our trade, you know. But this is like the old argument with the operating systems. If XP was allowed onto an Apple, then why can't OS X be allowed onto a PC? Because Apple wouldn't exist. And I think Microsoft are doing Apple a favour by actually not pushing for that one. So, you know, ideas which have been out there in the big world filter down into Macintosh, and then Macintosh users will tell you that that's the way the world is and you need to do it on an Apple Mac. But the point being that everything that has ever been brought out came out from the mainframe and the PC world and then got poached by Mac. So when I see these adverts on TV that you know, say, oh yes, I'm a PC, you know, I fall over, I can't do these functions and things like that, you know, it just makes me laugh. You know, the mentality of an Apple user that would actually buy into that sort of stupidity, when, you know, Apples are a minority. It's very hard to get support for an Apple Mac unless you want to pay a lot of money, and you know, PCs are used widely and you can get support from many people on PC issues. Mac users hardly know any answers to questions. I've been through this many times in Apple forums to try and get helpful advice to problems. So, you know, these are just some of the reasons I don't like Mac. You know, we haven't even got into the slowness of the interface, the fact that you know, you don't have an ability to control priority of tasks, to assign the processor power higher over certain tasks that you're doing and lower to other tasks to speed up, you know, priority, so you can sort of stream something over the internet and then you know, also be recording the sound of it on a different program, and you want to make sure that the streaming goes smoothly so you can put a higher priority task. I mean, where are these things on a Mac? You know, where do these things? They don't exist. They don't exist. You know, and Macs crash, PCs crash. You know, they're all the same. So why are these adverts lying to people? You know, and playing on people's stupidity and gullibilities, just saying, you know, well, PCs just don't work, you know, and Apples are brilliant. I mean, the only reason Apples haven't got viruses on them in a prolific sense at the moment is because most of the world's users are using PC, and most of the world's banking and everything, you know, from financial institutions to government institutions, they all use PC, you know, and they're not thinking about changing over to Mac anytime soon. So all this advertising and marketing, it only works on people who don't understand what computers are. You know, it's designed for stupid people. It says a bit about the types of users that Apple have got. I've actually done some support on Apple, and the types of users really, yeah, you know, which is why I don't support them, because it's not that it isn't hard to fix an Apple Mac. I really just don't want to deal with the users. You know, they don't even know which side of a floppy disk to stick in half the time. So yeah, I don't really get on with Apple, and I'll keep them for the people with loads of money.